Yeah.
Wow.
Start the
Yeah.
What is this?
things.
21, 22? I don't even know.
Oh my god, I hate everything. How are
No, you
people?
don't.
What? Nani?
I'm doing good.
What an incredible spiritual growth I just went through.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how you could just
Nietzsche has
say
cured
things?
of his
Yeah.
hatred with a few words.
Yeah. Michi's my biscuit. Never mind, actually. Okay, yeah, art to art. We're fucking.
I already want to be over.
You know, wait, if you have three, you can take 3 arcs and make a circle. That's the spirit circle.
That doesn't make
it's all
any
coming
sense.
together.
What do you mean Spirit Circle? We're doing Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. No one mentioned Spirit
Yeah.
Circle.
Well, that's actually to your eternity.
Hey,
It's very
Fushi's
easy
a
to forget,
boat.
though.
He's a boat man.
Yeah. It's like that Bleach ED.
Oh, life is like a boat.
Fushi is like a boat.
Fushi is like a
Boats in
boat.
this case.
A minor grievance I have due to
Oh god damn it.
due to translators not being that fast. I had to go and read some scanslations of this, or maybe alternate official ones, I'm not sure, but I was done with my physical volumes, and it was very annoying to have to go from everyone calling him Fushi to everyone calling him Emo. I was like, what? I realized it's IMMO. I was like, who the fuck is Emo? I realized it's short for immortal. The same way Fushi just means immortal too. Some translations call him Emo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the scans I have call him Fushi.
The multiple ones I found said emo for the last, I mean, you haven't gotten as far as I have. So yours are just taken from the books. In the books, he's called Fushi, which is correct. But online people were calling him emo, I guess. Yeah.
Fushi is crawling in our skin.
And then certain characters later, we're calling him.
And
we're
his
calling
words,
him.
they will heal.
We're calling him Emi with a Y at the end as like a cute name, but I was like, what the fuck? What is Fushi called then? Fushii? Like that doesn't work. Yeah. Well,
I've also been wondering over names, with Edi. I'm wondering what her name in Japanese is.
Yeah.
Kittens would be
Echo.
Koneko.
Yeah,
So, it would be the Echo. Or Noke.
I don't know what she's called in Japanese. I think I did call her something weird like that, like maybe Eto or something in one chapter, and I was also confused by that.
Eto has invaded.
Yeah, they called her Rize. Man, isn't Iddy the cutest? She's
kind of cheating, to be honest.
Yeah, your green is like a woman who doesn't talk back. Perfect. Rubs
can
hands.
make pottery.
Can cook. Eventually.
Can identify issues in the sewage system
Kahak
of the
is a pretty
city.
good cook too, actually. Yeah. And
I mean, he does. He will periodically try to rape you while you're not looking. But
but good food though. Make you a good bowl of food afterwards.
Yeah, fucking better. Silver
I'm trying
linings.
to. Okay, this has been like I skim read again, but I've gone so many hundreds of chapters past this. I'm trying to remember now. Well, they're planning. This is all about the 3 immortal allies, right? The Fushi gang.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually more about the city restructuring.
This is a prelude. This is all a prelude to
much.
the big battle arc, which I had to chop in half, or else we would have done to do 30 chapters. So this is just the first 10. But yeah, it's all city planning, building houses, convincing people to not get murdered by knockers. I know.
Yeah.
Well, Green.
We went from
the
best stretch to one of the weak ones again, but I mean, it's hard to follow up.
It's all worth it for. It's just
a bridge to the next section.
This is like in Tokyo Ghoul when they're talking about the next raid, the Knocker raid. Yeah,
exactly.
Can you be more specific?
The Knocker raid is one of the greatest things in manga, so it's well worth it. It's the most insane fight I've ever seen. Yeah. Iddy is hanging. Well, yeah, we got. What do you guys think of the new pals we meet? I never remember any of their names.
We haven't
Jaws.
For some reason. Yeah, it doesn't I couldn't really connect with it yet because we don't have like the payoff yet for why they were introduced, so to speak. Like
right.
with I think the Holy Knight guy, Hiro, however it's called. I mean, if it were Hiro, then his name would be Gray, like the color. So I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
I think it's
like we get his little weird, strange backstory thing, but there's like no payoff to it. So that's
not yet. Did you notice he was introduced in the last stretch?
He was like the guy that's with.
Yeah, Knight came up and then they were like, "Oh, you're wounded," and he hadn't noticed in the back of his leg because he doesn't feel pain.
I mean, he mentions that these characters kind of mention what they were doing before they show up, so it's kind of
he was like he was part of the Bennett thing. Kai is just a guy, sort of. He likes
play. He has the least stuff going on.
He's not that interesting for now. I mean, he's pretty good at playing.
I'm not getting that invested in them, honestly, just because you can tell they're kind of
I get you.
No, they're not write-offs, but they're expendable in a way, maybe.
But they're immortal, dude.
Oh yeah, never mind.
I like the cute. I can never remember his name, but the piercing guy with the cute princess friend.
Oh fuck!
Something with them. It's like
Madrash or something.
I was gonna say Messiah Storm.
No.
Yeah, Marquette. His name is like Robin Bastar, or is the second and last name. I just don't remember his first one. But
fuck.
Well,
I tried to remember it and I forgot it.
Green, what did you think was interesting in this stretch?
Honestly, interesting, not too much. I mean, at the very end, they allude towards something very interesting happening.
Yeah.
But most of this really is just plot in a manga that has historically not been super plot heavy.
Yeah.
Where it is just setup and preparation for the fight, explaining what Fushi's up to, where he's systematically breaking and repairing buildings in the place that's going to be attacked. So he's using ropes to distribute his body all throughout the city so that he can control huge sections of the city once the fight happens and make bodies all over the place. Good for him.
I like the chapter where people realize like his houses, some of them have like gross skin and they're like stuck to each other. And they're like, what the fuck? My house is made of goo. They
go to pick up an apple and there's this long like stretchy tendril between it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to eat this apple.
This was one of the first places where we saw a lot of beats get repeated from earlier times.
Yeah.
Where the tension of people figuring out who Fushi is and threatening to kidnap him and all that, and him struggling to know who to trust. Yeah. None of this is new, but it was basically unavoidable because it really is mostly set up for what's happening.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
It's unavoidable, but I think it could have been like 3 chapters shorter or so, and it would still have worked. Like,
yeah, you're right about that. It is a bit. We do have a lot of him like building the buildings.
Yeah, or people like Edie looking into the distance,
or like the little barrack scene. It's like, those people do show up during the fight, but not really that important. Like, I don't know if we need to introduce them this early.
Yeah.
I like the scene a lot. I guess I'll skip ahead to something which is cool. Oh, wait, were you going to say something? Sorry.
Just in the same vein with, like, what's her name? Pokora showing up and looking for a boyfriend. Like, that could also...
I thought that was pretty cute.
I mean, sure, it's funny, but it doesn't really, like...
I feel like that's setting up for a character moment that's going to come later. Also, there was
did you read her letter at the end of one of the chapters?
Yeah, there was one page where she talks about her. She sends a letter to her mother, briefly discussing her newly discovered racial fetishes that she's figuring out, and how she wants her mom to set her up on dates.
She's like, I have so many suitors here. Everyone is crazy to go out with me.
She's also convinced all the women here are ugly, which I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she's coming from.
Maybe that's meant to just be female jealousy.
Maybe.
I mean, there were moments that were interesting, but none of them were super central to the story. They were just kind of disconnected.
That's fine.
Every character just kind of has their own little thing they're up to while this is going on. I was gonna say, Itty is almost cheating because it's almost a paint by numbers, adorable sidekick thing.
Yeah.
Again, I keep thinking of Mushoku Tensei, where Rudius buys the slave who, it's not even just that it's an adorable little, young slave girl assistant. He buys her specifically because she's a dwarf and they have dexterity that makes them good craftsmen.
Yeah.
And Itty is even kind of the same thing, which I'm not seeing a direct connection there, but
in Shield Hero too, kind of with Raftalia.
Well, that's a little different, or the interesting contrast there is Shield Hero is almost 100% certainly inspired by Mushoku Tensei, where every ReZero came out around the same time, but basically every fucking isekai steals from Mushoku.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the vibe from this author that she was a fan of Mushoku Tensei. Maybe
I don't know.
It's always possible, but
there's cute Itty helping out with construction. She moved one brick.
Yeah. Also, I feel
what
like
do you think
Itty,
of her?
This show, real quick. I feel like this story has had too many small, cute waifus in such a short period of time that Itty is almost a negative category where he's scratching his head going, fuck, what have I not done with girls yet?
Pointy
creepy
teeth.
mute girls that bite things and are half feral. Sure, why not?
Do you what do you think of the weird pot thing?
It's fine. I mean, they're not
used to it, I guess.
It's not super well established or
explained. It comes up way more than you'd think as the story goes on. I was like, oh right, it's a really useful tool for explaining stuff to someone without having to tell them something. I like the scene when he rebuilds the booze man's tower, and then she shows up with the pots on her head and holding Gugu's mask. I was like, oh, I remember that.
That reminds me
back in the old days.
Is it Kahaku? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember, he's
Kahaku
I'll always be here for you.
Yeah, he gets weird little moments in this. One, he gets relegated to babysitting duty for Itty and doesn't do a great job of it. There's a part in there where Kahaku is telling Itty, don't touch those masks. He's fussing over her. And being overbearing, which is funny because it seems like he's being overprotective and no one gets to touch the mask except me. I'm the destined chosen
Kahaku
partner.
is definitely jealous of Itty, which is really funny.
Yes.
Because he's put on babysitting duty. And later, it's not really a spoiler, but there's a point in the next stretch where he refers to her as Fushi's pet dog. Not as a person. He's like, you have to keep an eye. I won't let Fushi's pet dog be killed here or something like that. It's like, Kahaku, why do you have to be such a dickhead?
It's a question, man.
I will say, interesting scenes. I like the scene where the man in black shows up. Is probably one of the cooler ones. Right?
Yeah.
Because
I do like that the world is not completely centered around Fushi.
Yes.
Bone having his own interaction with the Man in Black, where he can see the Man in Black, and he confronts the Man in Black and kind of tries to push back a bit and ask him for information, and tries to tell him what to do. That is interesting to me. Characters having a relationship with the weird god devil figure other than the main. I wasn't expecting that, and I think that's a good way to do it. I mean, Fushi is expanding in his powers and his role in the story so quickly. They almost need more characters who can do crazy stuff or interact with the supernatural elements, or Fushi's just going to become a black hole and the other characters are going to not matter.
Yeah, Bond continues to be MVP during this stretch. I mean, he's got all the connections and he knows all the right things to say.
There was one little detail, I assume, and I'm not sure if I'm just being crazy or if it actually is
you're crazy.
Well, I might be able to offer some insight.
During the backstory of the church night, he listens to a sermon in the church, and there's an excerpt from the holy text, and and for some reason it sounded like something that Fushi said to someone, or maybe it was.
I
the
wasn't
Man in
sure
Black who
about
said
that
it.
either, because they mentioned a particular name, like a weird fantasy name, and I was like, I don't think I've heard that
like,
name
it's
before.
The Church of Bennett, and supposedly this demon, quote unquote, said this to Bennett, like something.
That's right.
Worth more than sitting around smiling? And for some reason, I remembered that coming up in an earlier chapter, but I don't.
I think I had the
details,
same experience and didn't go back to check. I should have reread the whole manga.
I would have been hard.
Also, it's funny how Bon knocks out Fushi by asking him to make more poison, and then he just inhales the fumes. Fushi is an idiot. He just makes noxious fumes and kills himself.
Turning into Sonari,
Yeah. And then the Man in Black fucking folds the guy's sword and chucks it, and then they're like, shit.
It's interesting that he
does bleed, yeah. He caught him off guard. I mean, he can be, it seems he can be hurt, but he just has insane powers. Yes. And then, like, there's not much crazy to talk about the stretch. We're gonna go ham on the next one, so this is good. And then last thing is Fushi sets up a bunch of his former forms around the walls, and March disconnects and she opens her eyes. Oh my god, could it be?
She might be back.
The implication there was, if he's not embodying the forms, it's hard for the knockers to steal them, right?
Yes.
Or something like that.
They won't kill them, is what he said.
They're interested in murdering people to liberate their souls. They're not going to just go after meat like forms. I mean, it's all him. When everything that's connected to the rope is all him. So it's like, but once it disconnects from the thing, then he's made a corpse, and that means maybe a ghost can go in it.
You mean like March's soul that has been hanging?
Yeah, you mean exactly. That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
For me, I think the most interesting part was the whatever the heck his name was, the pierced guy. His like a relationship with the queen, like his backstory. I think
the princess stuff is cool. The queen,
the human stories and aspects in To Your Eternity are much the best part.
Yeah,
and that's the best section of
that's
this.
Why the next bits will have way more of that. They're also playing Mills or Morris's game, which is a game I've been interested in. And it's far back enough that it isn't a solved game like nowadays. So
about the princess, I did notice while they're just sitting there as kids, the princess is wearing a veil over her face. Yeah. But she's also wearing some kind of belly dancer outfit where
it's just not. It's just about anonymity. It's not about sexiness.
On what fucking planet?
I don't know.
is a royal heir going to be allowed to run around in a belly dancer outfit?
Somewhere where it's very hot.
Look, it was very hot. Yeah, exactly. I like when he blows her veil up. That's funny.
Yeah, that was fun. I just found myself thinking, is this author is kind of taking the piss at this point? That she's going a little ham with the I don't know, cuteness appeal. I don't know. I guess I just have a few other smatterings of thoughts.
I'll hear them.
It's funny that Kahaku is still around. You know, they're not really restricting his freedom after his previous misbehavior.
To be fair, he didn't. It's not like he did anything crazy. He got like huggy and kissy. He didn't commit a felony yet, so it's fine. Yeah,
he is still being very weird about it, though.
He's a weirdo.
He's jealous of Itty. Early on, there's also a panel where he's talking to Fushi and says, we'll win this battle and we'll get back Perona and the others.
Yeah.
He's openly doing this to get back the form that he's most attracted to.
He's like, I will beg the others, but I would rather that one. If I have to, I'll do the wolf form or the bear, fine. Also, he doesn't seem to like Bon much. He's like, and he's getting bitchy too, because he's like, well, everyone's like working Fushi pretty hard and Fushi's pretty tired. This is like the one thing that can fucking tire out Fushi, is like extending his consciousness over, miles and miles and having to keep like constant surveillance of an entire city, which fair enough. And then everyone was being like, well, we're doing this. And he's like, you're being mean to my boyfriend. Stop it. He needs to eat.
Fushi is even hiding that he's working from Kahaku.
Yeah, that's
by
right.
leaving a fake body around. That's a level of deception we really haven't seen from Fushi before.
Fushi's a clever guy at this point, except for knocking himself out with poison. But he can think of
He's nearly
almost human.
just as he. I mean, it was funny early on when Bon witnesses the extent of his powers. He thinks, oh, he's getting so much farther from being human.
That's true.
And I remember thinking, he was barely close to human for like a month in all of this.
Yeah, but he is right that like hanging out with Iddy, who can't speak, for like months and becoming a tree boatman probably made him forget some of the more human behaviors he had adopted at some points,
Yeah.
He's teleporting around town. He's fucking doing whatever he wants.
He is the entire town at this point.
Yeah, he is the town. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I had fewer notes than I usually do. It's more just a few little things that are interesting.
Less stuff happening. I understand. That's fine. Yeah.
I wrote high roll. It was funny that he follows one of the new teammates around as a wolf and watches him undress and shower, and then as a wolf he says hell roll.
It's also funny
just classic Fushi humor, that good old-fashioned Fushi humor.
I like that
we all
stuff about Hyro, like pretending he's injured in the fight, where he just wins and then he's like, "Oh, it's a run off." It's like, yeah, it's trickier for me. Yeah.
Remember when Bond's ghost friend with the sword in his head said, "Oh yeah, I felt paradise at hand, but I thought I would look really silly going there, so I just went out here."
Fez and Nexon or whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah, they're funny. I mean, that's the
silly guy.
Yeah, that's the deal with ghosts here. Well, shit, I have so much stuff that's teaming in on that I'm fucking excited for the next stretch. Everyone's gonna go crazy.
Well, let's bury that feeling deep inside
and talk about
and smother it. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Hisoka one shot, maybe.
Yeah. Man, I remembered this being better than it is.
I influenced him again. Did you guys know Suyashida did a Hisoka? Did a Hunter x Hunter? Crazy.
Did a heckin' racism?
He did a heckin' racism.
He did not.
My problem with this is just I don't see like what it adds really. Like it's like
fanfic.
It's like but it's exactly. I was expecting like a cool backstory. It's like a backstory chapter that adds no backstory. It's like I know nothing. I like know nothing more about Hisoka than, even if this is canon or not. It's like this could.
It's probably not canon.
But this could have, except for like the learning how to use Nen stuff, which isn't even that much of it. It's like this could have happened.
It'll be canon when Togashi shits himself.
This could have happened in the middle of the boat, and I would have been like, sure, he fought a magnet guy.
From what I remember, Togashi said that he was never to like reveal what Hisoka's backstory is going to be. So I'm wondering.
I did
hear the meeting of the minds came to be. Like how did Togashi and Ishida
I did some research and I saw apparently he had like restrictions on him. Like I think like Togashi sent some notes and said like, okay, here's the things you can't do. I think I'm not saying there were like lots of them, but I think there were like conversations and stuff being like he must have asked like Togashi like how about this idea, and Togashi might have been like, oh no, definitely not, or that seems like an idea. Like what if he was a girl? No.
What if he was a girl?
That's what he loves to do.
If Hisoka was straight?
Oh, also to your eternity, it's sad that Bon has like a wife and child, but they keep showing up and he's like, bye. I just want him to go lay pipe, goddammit. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, okay, well this is like, I don't know. I don't mind anything in this. There's nothing in this where I'm like, I hate that. That's awful. It's just like, I'm just like, it's a okay. It's
just
not...
a nice little extra stuff. It's like,
I mean, is
nice
it though?
see.
Because it's not nice for me to read like unfinished manga. It's just like I would only read this as, you know, if I was doing like a podcast, for example. Like I don't understand why is it just like a scribble? Like was it like planned for something and then
No, because he did it at the same time as his regular stuff, so he didn't have time.
So
he
has
did
time
it
afterwards.
on the side.
What? Gives a shit. This is the sketched out version. He could just, once he finished he could just go back and do the actual artwork for
I mean, Jaws, just to challenge that, wouldn't, if anything, if a legendary mangaka gave you a chance to add to their world, wouldn't you take more care with that than your own stuff?
You know, Naoki Urasawa did 20th Century Boys and Monster at the same time, and they look fine.
Well, that's because he's so insane. I mean, I've not. There's like another, like sort of not a spin-off manga for Tokyo Ghoul, but like basically the same thing as the Hisoka stuff that Ishida also did at the same time for like a little bit of Arima backstory, and that also
looks like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I really wanted, like, I thought something interesting was going to happen with that girl.
Yeah, it's like she is only there.
They just like introduce her. She's like, I can use Nen. There's like a bit of a fight, and then Hisoka like leaves, and she's like, Hisoka, the food's ready. Hisoka, I'll never show up in the story. What?
I gotta say, I actually am harder on this than I was reading it the first time, and partially because now that I know what Tokyo Ghoul writing feels like, being able to just immediately recognize it was unfortunate. Or it's like person shows up, it's like, ha, I am inexplicably good at this thing.
Yeah.
Yes, oh yes, my mother taught me. Oh my god, he will join our team. But sir, we are 2 months away from the big thing. No, this is more important than us having a job. Let's do this. Yes. Oh no, I am the killer, yells to the camera. It's like, oh god fucking damn it.
That was one of my complaints with this, was like, I totally get, like, the thing with juggling pins is fine, because that's like established in Hunter x Hunter. Like there's the scene there's the scene in the Hunter exam where the guy tries to get revenge on him and is like, it took me a year to learn how to wield these 4 knives, and then Hisoka just grabs them out of the air and fucking kills them. So I was like, okay, but then him being such a Nen prodigy is kind of weird, because it's like really only like he's like on Ging's level, where you can just like observe someone's like Nen technique, like the tissue thing, and just replicate it perfectly immediately. It's like, Jesus, I didn't realize Hisoka was like, I always had him on, he's like you know, he's like troop member tier. He's not like fucking Ging Netero, like Ging Netero tier. It's like, it has to be such a fucking Nen genius. I wonder how he lost to Crollo. He should have just copied all of his techniques as soon as he saw them. And speaking of like Tokyo Ghoul ass stuff, it came back to bite him, because they do the big performance and it cuts to the guy sitting on the roof looking at the sunset, and he's like shaded, and there was like one square of his face, and I was like, it's him, he's the killer. Done. That's how he always frames stuff when people are like about to reveal they're a ghoul. It's like just need like one silent panel of them like shaded looking over something. Like, man, I wonder why Top Hat Monocle Man is looking over. Oh right, it's him. He's John Doe.
It was very Ishida,
and then 2 pages later it was
him. he just kind of has plot points happen, and he introduces elements right before he uses them.
Exactly.
Where Ishida's apparently until Chojin X, he's just very bad about. I don't even know how to describe it. He's not good at having the transitions between plot beats.
Yeah.
He just kind of has something happen, and then something happened, and yeah, it makes sense that the second thing happened before the first one, but that's not a story. Like a person yelling, a person saying, "Hey, there's a killer on the loose. What do you know?" And then 5 pages later, one of the 3 named characters yells, "I am the killer."
Exactly.
that's not a story.
It's like
it's
a murder mystery. Who the fuck could the identity of John Doe be? Could it be one of the 3 characters we have? Well, it's probably not Hisoka or the girl, because they fought him
probably
in
not
the last
teenage
scene.
girl either.
yeah. Well, they literally fought against him in the last scene, so I don't think it can be them. And it's like I empathize with that, because like I had that with Mezio. Like I had scenes and ideas for plot moments and what order they would come in, but I couldn't come up with good ways to write like their connective tissue is hard for me too. So maybe this is just a more common problem than I thought. Also, I will say about the artwork, it is funny if you regard it as him making fun of Togashi, because it looks like the I
was thinking about that.
Yeah, I was thinking that the whole time. It looks like some of those Chimera Ants. Yeah, it looks like some of the Chimera Ant chapters. I'm like, maybe he was like, if Togashi could be like, oh, it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me, Togashi. This is what Hisoka normally looks like. Yeah.
Togashi complains, and he should have just goes, oh, I'll fix it in the Takabans. It'll be fine.
I also think the power is stupid.
There won't be one.
I think Ishida looked over at his desk where he has his desk toys, and he had 2 of those neodymium magnets you throw in the air and they clap together and wobble. And he was like, "Oh, that would be kind of neat." And then he was playing with them, and they trapped a fold of his skin. He's like, "Ow! Those magnets nearly crushed me." Hey, hang on a second.
That really funny. That is your.
I mean, I'm gonna put $10 on it. I'm not married to it, but yeah, I'll ask him someday. The thing, I don't mind like the texture surprise that much. Him getting it from someone, because it's not like that advanced technique. I will say, I wish the guy was this is just a stupid nitpick, but I wish the guy was a conjurer and not a transmuter, because I always took transmutation to be you change the properties of your aura. That means like it still retains kind of the physical, shape of aura. Like it's still like a sort of a...
Well, yeah, it's still attached to your body.
It's like a liquidy substance, like electricity. Or it's not like a transient thing. Yeah, but he just turns his into like big metal magnetic pylons. And I'm like, well, that's just a conjurer technique, obviously. I mean, maybe he is using a conjurer technique, but if he is, then it's stupid that he's a transmuter. Because you should make one in your ballpark, which he knows because he teaches Hisoka that. So, I don't know.
Yep. After you mentioned that, and I thought about it, I thought, he did mess up.
Like my nen can turn into big magnetic. He could have said my nen becomes magnetic. Like it should have been like iron filings. Iron filings would have looked cool.
Maybe it was meant to be metaphorical, but no, it's not.
Because it's like these big fucking pillars. Exactly. And it made no sense to me either, because it was just like confusingly told, because it was like. It just felt like kind of came out of nowhere, because it was like, oh, John Doe crushes his victims, and then we cut to the alleyway and he's kicking the shit out of this woman. So what the fuck did the magnets just to hold her in place while he kicked the shit out of her? He's like 10 times her size. He doesn't need that. He has Nen. Like, you can just crush people normally if you can use Nen. Just put Nen over yourself and stomp the shit out of someone.
Yeah.
and then he uses... I mean, it's kind of weird that he uses bungee gum to bring a bunch of magnets together, because that's what magnets would do anyway. It kind of seemed like he killed himself with his own power. And Hisoka only pretended.
Well, okay.
I should have stood in the middle of all my magnets. Oh, fuck. Ow.
Yeah. I get it. It was very jarring. Like he what?
He's not magnetic himself.
No, but the magnets between themselves. I mean, I will say it was a good fight, like in terms of choreography and stuff. Like it was fine. I mean, it didn't look that good, but like I could see how it could look, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that they picked this, because I was thinking it's hard to come up with. It's hard to come up with 2 mangaka more different than Ishida and Togashi.
What?
I don't know if I agree with that.
I disagree with that.
Especially reading Shoujo X, actually. But
Well, Togashi's entire thing, or at least Hunter x Hunter's entire thing, is, it's about the randomness of real life and how, things don't work out like they're supposed to in your imagination, and like it's not a fucking book.
Yeah, not everything is tied together in an intricate.
Ishida is the nonstop stream of contrivance and just nonsensical coincidences, making his cool moments happen.
He could stand to take from Togashi the whole, like, people can die at any moment. Yeah, and people and also the way that he just sees his characters as kind of disposable. Like he brings Pakunoda and Pakal back. If Ishida brought Pakunoda and Pakal back, he would keep doing it, and then at the end tell you about how they got married and had 7 children, and tell you their names in detail. But Togashi brings them over so they can be, one gets shot to death unceremoniously, and the other one is horribly tortured and has their brains picked and then gets eaten by an ant. And it's like, yeah, I mean, those characters weren't doing anything anyway. If you're going to bring them back, you might as well do something interesting with them instead of just have them interrupt a fight scene.
And also, Togashi, he tries really, really, really hard to be, character driven with his stories, where the different quirks and personalities and desires of the character is what's driving the action. And the plot is almost a byproduct of that, or at least it's a very convincing simulation of it being a byproduct of character desires. Like Hunter x Hunter, it's almost all character, where Ishida tends to come up with plot beats, and then he just tries to cram like a weird reason that the character would do it, like into the story. That's why he'll have a character just like randomly yell what they're about to do.
Because he's obviously a fan of Togashi. I mean, the raid arcs in Tokyo Ghoul almost feel like he's trying to capture that like assault on the palace, Chimera Ant thing almost, because they'll have all these parallel fight scenes and cut between them and stuff like that. So I think he definitely he's obviously like
I'm given that they're like buddies.
I will say, when you have such a limited number of pages, I find it odd that he wasted so much on explaining Nen, because it's like, I totally get that this is like how Hisoka learned Nen, but having a panel with a text that says, so for the next few months, he taught me the basics of Nen, and then being able to cram more story in is more valuable than like showing us the glass scene. And we know. Everyone reading this is a Hunter x Hunter fan. We know, we've seen the glass scene like 5 different times.
I assume he did this exactly for those people who have not read Hunter.
If you have not read Hunter x Hunter, you should not start with this. It's a terrible idea. You'll come away thinking... you'll come away...
What are you saying?
Yeah, from this thinking like, what? I don't want to read Hunter x Hunter. He doesn't... He just wanted
Hunter x Hunter is
he just wanted to draw Hisoka,
right?
because Hisoka is obviously the most like Tokyo Ghoul coded Hunter x Hunter character, and he's aesthetic, and he already put him in his manga, and he was called Tsukiyama. So he's like, I want to do the Hisoka, and I'm like, that's cool, but I don't know if it's really like if it's that much better than like if I asked Green to write like a Hunter x Hunter short story. I mean, I think he'd do about as good of a job. Or better. Yeah. It's like, I don't
actually. How fucking dare you?
Well, I was trying not to be like too self-congratulatory to us and be like, we could do better than Ishida, but I just want to be like, I don't think it really gained much from having Ishida write it. Like,
Michi, I am comfortable saying this is gonna sound fucking mean. I'm just gonna say this, sharpen your pitchforks if you want, but you being self-congratulatory by saying that like I could write better than Ishida in this context would be like me saying that you could draw better than one, particularly back in the early days. It's like the person's talent has nothing to do with that particular skill, and even a very mediocre person is probably better than him.
But I know he can write stuff that's good. Like there was many parts of Tokyo Ghoul that I thought were well written, and I think like lots of, I know I keep bringing up Shoujo Next, but I mean that's like his big thing. Like he's been doing Shoujo Next for a long time, and I'm like, I think the writing in it is strong. Like I think it's interesting. I think it's like snappy and well paced. I like it.
I'm gonna read Shoujo Next at some point too. It's a shame that we're not watching it. Maybe we'll make an exception for Shoujo Next.
We could do, honestly. I mean, we could just do Shoujo. We would still have like 200 chapters or whatever. Well, not that many, like 100 and something, probably.
Michu brought this up the other day, and I actually did kind of hint out, if we murdered Ishida,
That's
would be able to cover Shoujo X, because it would technically be over.
You will certainly like Shoujo X more than...
Oh, look at this. Look at Jaws groaning at the thought of murdering his favorite artist.
I would
Take all the fun out of it, why don't you?
I mean, you're kind of roping me into your side here against my will. I don't dislike Suishida. In fact, I empathize with him a lot as a creative. Like, I think he has like, he's like one of the most interesting people in manga, like, alive. I think. I just think he's had like lots of issues and and hiccups, but I don't think that's. I mean, I
expect to like Chojin X, but I'm gonna say if it's gonna be like, remember when Michael Jordan played baseball? It's gonna be like if he played baseball first before he played basketball. Like, he inexplicably tried to do something he was bad at before he did what he obviously should have been doing the whole time.
I think you're letting your re-hatred cloud. You weren't this negative about Tokyo Ghoul when we ended it.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't.
You were like, that's like not. If you just take Ri on its own, it's not that large of a slice of his cake. I
will confess, I am letting my frustration with Ri retroactively sour Tokyo. I never thought Tokyo Ghoul was amazing, but I thought it was like on the whole, it was a perfectly charming, little manga. I get why people like it. That is true. If I went back and watched the old videos, I would say good things about it. It's
especially a good first manga. Like I like it a lot as Tokyo Ghoul. Then Ri has its things. I mean, Ri just feels like a too long protraction of Tokyo Ghoul. But then it's like, once you get through those and you're like, Shojin X, it makes more sense. I like Shojin X more having read Tokyo Ghoul. It's not because I'm like, oh, this is so much better. It's just because it's like, I know what he's like and I know where he's coming from. So seeing him have different kind of like freedoms and play around with stuff more and be more like out there and experimental than he was in Tokyo Ghoul, like with the layouts and with the visual storytelling and with the actual storytelling, is interesting to me because it's kind of like him. It's kind of like Rock Lee dropping the weights in a way. I think he's a cool, interesting guy. Like I said, I think of him like Fujimoto. I mean, like before Fire Punch, if you read his like early mangas, like they're not bad or anything, but they also have like flaws that you can point to, like the artwork isn't quite there in some of them, and they have kind of like clunky, the way in which they explain themselves and the story goes in them is a very clunky a lot of time. And it's like he's trying to get his idea right, up till Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man. Even Fire Punch really is him trying to get his idea right for Chainsaw Man. I think Fire Punch is great. It's just it's like a less focused, like, Chainsaw Man is a more polished product until it isn't.
Until it is.
Yeah, but if we take the first 11 volumes, and I think Ishida's like that too. Like, he's very interesting. He has a lot of ideas and he thinks a lot, and he has a lot of interesting influences outside of manga, which I think is the most important thing, really. Like, I have problems with guys like what's he called? Like Agetaro, the Jujutsu Kaisen guy, where it's like, it seems like he's like very competent in what he does and he has some very interesting things in there too. But like, it seems to me like he's just a fan of like 3 manga essentially, and then he made his own. Like, he was really into like Bleach, Naruto, and Hunter x Hunter, and JoJo, I guess. And then he was like, I want to be a mangaka, and he just practiced drawing very hard, and then made a manga. And it's like, this is like interesting, but in some parts, like it's not interesting. It's like well done. It's like has very good arcs sometimes and has cool things in it, but you're nowhere near as interesting as like Suishida, because Suishida is like a weirdo who's tried a bunch of things and thinks very weird things and puts things only he would put in his manga,
Michi, you're cutting out a bit. If there's anything you can do to rectify that.
I can try talking louder. I don't know if the cable's kind of fucked. I don't know did you miss anything I said?
No, you're just dropping syllables.
Oh, okay. Well, I just said, I was saying I like how Ishida is one of those guys that you read his stuff and he puts stuff in that only he would put in stuff, which I think is like one of the most important qualities a creative person can have, is just being like recognizable, Like, if you had given me this chapter and not told me it was Ishida, I mean, aside from the art style, but even then, like, I would have been able to tell it was Ishida probably. I would have been like, oh, this seems like it was Ishida. Yeah.
I would like prophesize if Green were to read Shojin X. I mean, he would like it more than Tokyo Ghoul, I think, but not as much as you like Shojin X.
Really? I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe.
I
He
mean,
would definitely like the more slice of lifey tone and character interactions more.
I think he would like the quick pace of it most of all, because it doesn't meander with explanations or anything. It's just like every page something interesting is happening. It's like bam, bam, bam. Even when it's just people walking around and talking, it's interesting because they're like kind of the situation is less contrived than Tokyo Ghouls, because it's not less like weird like in a world of ghouls and investigators. It's just like, oh, some people have superpowers.
I mean,
that's all.
I would say things like that sort of change the further you get into the story.
That's fine, but for now, for what I've
think
read,
Michi will like it more than me because he has consistently liked everything more than me so far.
That's not true. I don't like Biscuit Hammer as much as you.
I'm everything by Ishida. I mean,
sorry.
So I imagine that will be the case, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm open to it. I've been frustrated with Isha the whole time because, as I keep saying, he just so obviously wants to do a different type of manga than what he's been doing.
That's what he does in Shoujo Next. That's the different type of manga.
Okay, well, it's perfect. Jaws, are you wrapping up here?
Yeah, no more Ishida for the next 100 years.
Okay. Are you mad?
Shoujo Next.
Oh no.
No, I'm not mad.
Okay. Anyways, the main feature. We finished Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Yes, we did. We did it.
The Biscuit Hammer.
Yeah,
we pretty fucking
finally,
quick. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a solid chunk at the end here. I don't know if this it was at least 20 something.
I think it was 19.
This stretch, I don't know if on the whole it was better than the stretch before it, but as a continuation of the stretch before it, I think this is a very appropriate ending. It's flawed as the manga has consistently been, but it's got a lot of charming moments in it. It gets its emotional beats in. We got some cute images and a fun epilogue. We also get the sitcom ending, much like we did with Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about that with both of them? I was thinking this is just the Harry Potter ending that everyone dunks on. Like, they all have the same ending. It's like, all the characters got together and had babies.
But Biscuit Hammers is at least like a good version.
No, I agree with. I'm surprised, Green. I thought you were going to be way more like loving, and I was going to be saying what you were saying, because I don't think I liked this as much as last stretch. And I also was like, this is a good ending, but it's not like my favorite part, and it's definitely flawed.
I think we basically agree. I think the strongest part of Biscuit Hammer is the stretch between the gang getting together and the actual conclusion to the story. I think you get to just watch the funny antics.
I think the ending is like very strong. Like,
I'm not even saying the ending's bad for what the manga was. I just, as a reading experience, I think the part before this, it might just be a little better.
I didn't really get very emotional or teary at any of this. As I did with like the mouse guy. Another thing to me was like, maybe, I mean, this is just a minor thing, but I had been like kind of I had read around a bit in some places when I had my first stretch of reading, and I'd been like, I wonder what people think of the early bit, and I had found people being like, when does it get good, and all these things, and what I would hear a lot of the time was people be like, the ending is amazing. So I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna have an amazing ending. Maybe that's why people remember it so fondly. And I was like, the ending was just as good as like the normal good parts of it. Like it was like the logical conclusion. Like, if you asked me what like the platonic ideal ending for this would be, it's this. Like I was expecting like some crazy twist or some weird like some really trippy stuff. But I was expecting something crazy to happen. Instead, it was just like, oh no, they just have the fight with Animus, and it's just like kind of a shonen fight, and then he dies, and then what they said that they were going to do the whole time.
It also goes on. You say it's a big ending fight. It's really like 4 big ending fights.
Yeah,
one
I know.
After the other.
That was part of it too. I was like, okay, I'm sick of being in this rubble pile and people keep punching each other. I was like, I get.
It was very fights, scouring of the Shire.
Yeah, the fight choreographies are never very good, and especially during this stretch, it was like. It was a lot of like people blasting their different energy beams at each other, and people like flipping upside down and jumping in the air and spinning around. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't, this is kind of like my eyes are starting to glaze over a bit at these fight scenes. But I don't want to be too negative. I did enjoy it. I think it was strong, but this was where the drop from I think the middle stuff was like a 9, and then this was solidified as like it's a good 8. It's like an 8 of a show, of a manga.
Fair, and honestly, from how much you struggled with the early section,
yeah,
this is a better ending for you than I was expecting.
Yeah, I enjoyed it fine. I just would have. I can safely say Spirit Circle is the superior manga though, because Spirit Circle has a stronger ending too. It's more interesting.
Yeah.
This was like, yeah, okay, that's a fine ending. Had some cool scenes.
This is a charming, flawed manga. Like that's probably the right way to put it.
It's like an early work from this go-getter guy. It's still cool that he managed to do it. I mean, that's kind of what the extra volume was about, was everyone congratulating him for making it this far, and him being like, I can't believe I made this whole fucking manga. And I was like, yeah, that is cool. You should be proud of yourself. But I think he one-ups himself later. Well, what's like really cool specifics? I mean, early on it was more about, when we started, it was more about like golem construction. That was like the big deal. Yeah. I did enjoy that stuff because it was like I was reading like artistic metaphors into it, where he was kind of like having art block and then a slump, and people were, they literally go and draw manga in a cafe, and not manga, but I like how Anima signs her name on the guy's drawing. Why does she do that? That was a weird thing with Anima. I don't know if that was like explained in the universe or not. I'm just saying it's a plot hole, but it's weird how she went from like catatonic, weird, like antisocial to very like friendly, smiley, helpful person by the end, whereas like with the same person who's like, I love Yuhi, and is being like hearing all excited all these stories at the end, be the same person who would like just be like, feed me more food, and steal someone's drawing for no reason. And she seemed so frivolous early on. It kind of felt strange to see her slowly become more human, but okay.
Yeah, I think it's just like time.
Yeah, I guess
getting used to like Samidara as a host, basically.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway,
it was cool. I like. Go, Josh.
You go first.
Okay. I was gonna say the drawing the golem scene. I think it was funny how Horse Guy is inexplicably the best artist of the group.
I also enjoy. That's what I also enjoy, is little like aside panels where when the golem does show up and it has the heads for arms. I was just like, oh, I didn't notice that drawing in any of them, so I was just like, oh, I guess he just chose a different design. And then immediately the next square was him being like, Yuhi, he chose one of your drawings, and it's like this like shitty scrawl he did. It's like, I'm honored, and he's like blushing, and I was like, oh, that's funny.
It's very, very cool. I like one funny thing about the beginning too. They also get into the Owl Knight and how he's still kind of a traitor, sort of, maybe. And the implication is the cute girls, like the younger ones around his age, are kind of winning him over. It's like, yeah, you solve evil with cute girls. Although that's arguably what corrupted the protagonist and made him turn evil in the first place. But, we won't get into that. Because he's going to destroy the Earth because of Samidari. I like that there's... I do like the tone of this early bit. I like how there's not a lot of inertia. And the story is still free to just kind of randomly go in any direction it wants, along the way to the end.
Yeah.
And I like how there are still literal side plots. We still have different groupings of characters that want slightly different things out of the ending, and their loyalties are still up in the air. He has a lot of irons in the fire up until the very end, and that is cool.
Yeah, one thing I enjoyed too was when he has his breakthrough with the golems, and he just realizes he can make like whatever the fuck he wants. I did think it's funny because he acknowledges that he's been copying Animus's ones because the designs kind of look like them, and Animus said as much. Yeah. And it's funny too that because when he went to ask for help at the diner, everyone else also draws golems that look like Animuses because that's what they're thinking. They're thinking like, well, what's a golem? And it's kind of funny because he can just make them out of the ground, and then some stuff comes up later with talking about how Animus has to like tune to the soil of the time period he goes to make his golems. And I was like, oh yeah, the clue was in the name the whole time. Like that's what a golem is made of clay, like from the earth, and then just given life. And it's like, oh, the guys can just make whatever the fuck they want as long as there's ground.
So he makes 3 really cool.
Yeah, he makes like weird. They reminded me of like Gormiti, like the weird monster creatures.
What I was going to say earlier is I like how some of the art changed, like how it got more scratchy. It reminded me a bit of like Ishida's stuff as well, like when the final golem shows up, and one of the best page in this entire stretch is just a giant Samidari before she punches the hammer. Like, that's
there was
amazing page.
He adopted lots of like brush pen effects and strokes. Was cool. When the big golem showed up, when number 12 showed up, and he had all the eyes like in one tiny spot, and he was like this giant spiky thing. I was like, that's totally Bokurano. Like, Bokurano has the 15 eyes right in the middle of his head, and he's a giant spiky guy, too. And he falls on a city, and I was like, hey. Speaking of references, was Blues Drive Monster, is that a reference to the Fooly Cooly song, or is it a reference to the boss pedal?
Someone said it was a reference to the pillows.
But that song is named after the pedal, but we did have a Fooly Cooly reference earlier.
Yeah.
So maybe he was naming it after the Pillows song. So I was like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why it looks like a stupid penguin. I guess just because that's Anima's stupid taste.
Yeah.
Speaking of Anima, I will say I didn't really care for like the backstory.
Yeah, it's a bit lackluster.
Exactly lackluster.
It's fine. I mean, honestly, they could have just not explained it, and that would have been fine.
They had to do some explanation.
It was funny because there was like quite a similar one way later in Tears of Eternity, and I was like, oh, this is just that. And also it reminded me of like the Vash the Stampede one a lot. I was like, this is kind of the Trigun backstory. Yeah, it kind of just happens real quick. It's like so fast. It's like just like they're chilling out, and the guy's like, you're a god. This has one word, and the guy's like, a god, cool, explode everything, endless war, 1,000-year, let's go. And I was like, oh, I guess
I am Animus, man.
It's like the whole time. Exactly, it's like the whole time they've been hinting at like this mystery and deeper meanings of the thing, and it's like the whole time now it's just her brother's just a psychopath. He's just a crazy psycho.
If they were going to do this,
and she needs to kill him.
I mean, it is interesting. You probably missed it originally, but this section is kind of hinted at / tied into Spirit Circle, which is
I did notice this.
Cute.
Yeah, there's like stuff about reincarnation.
Yeah, there's a lot about reincarnation and karma, exactly.
Yeah, honestly, this backstory, if they were going to do this should have been at the middle of the story, or like the 1/3 mark, maybe.
Yeah.
Having it right before the confrontation, it feels like he realized, oh, I just forgot that this had to be about something, and he tosses it in. I do like the implication, or well, it's probably more than implication, that he was the Swordfish Knight, and that
someone
was him.
pointed that out in the comment, and I had never, like, on my first read, I had never.
I actually missed that the first time I read it.
Wait,
yeah, but
where is this?
Well,
implied?
he said, well, when he's laying there dying, he says, "Man, I'd love a reincarnation where I know everything. I also need to burn off the karma. It'd probably take me 500 years.
That's right, becoming an animal.
Burn off the karma."
Yes. Oh my god.
The first time I read it, I somehow didn't put that together. Then I was on like TV tropes, and they pointed out like, oh fuck, that does make sense. And this time, once you're looking for it, it's totally obvious that he was the Swordfish Knight.
Wait, the Swordfish Knight, or would he be the guy who gave him all that knowledge? That would maybe make more sense. Like
I think he's probably
He's the Swordfish Knight because
incarnation.
the Swordfish Knight lives 500 years.
Okay, but he was with him for most of those 500 years. Remember, so
Sure.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I did like the time stuff was fun. How like Anima and him are the descendants of Samidari's sister and the Dog Knight in an alternate time.
Like that. Like that was.
No, I don't mind that at all. It doesn't create a paradox like they said because of the Kappa thing. So it makes sense that they're here, but they're not going to be born in this timeline.
I assumed like you would say something like, "Oh, not everything needs to be connected" and stuff like that.
Well, if it's an urban fantasy battle manga, no. If it's about reincarnation and fate and supernatural
and it's about
games,
people with
it's fine.
It's about people with like weird psychic ability. Like literally, the joke is that they're new types. Like it's a Gundam thing, and then when they look in their back history, it's like your family is all geniuses and weirdos. It's like, well, it makes sense. They'd have the same blood as Samidare, who can punch planets in half, and fucking the genius weird family. It's like, that's fine by me. I mean,
but Samidare could only do that because of anima, not because of.
But she's but they still had psychic potential. Remember, because she said, when she's removing their powers, like there's lots of people like the two kids that had psychic potential even without having crazy powers. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's all cool.
I'm just surprised.
Well, I'm a complicated person. What can I tell you?
Your mind works in a mysterious way.
I just don't. The word person.
The thing is, like, this is one connection in the thing. It's not like they also. If this was Tokyo Ghoul, they would explain how also their mailman was related to every other character, and how actually the owner of the sushi restaurant was the dad of the horse guy, and his horse had given birth to the mouse, and it's like everything would be connected. Here, it's just like one thread. It's like, that's fine. No one else is connected in it. The fat guy is not related to anyone else.
Samidare and Yui meeting each other as children.
That makes sense because she engineered it. Like, it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that they met at the beginning of the story. The story happens because of her wish. We're just getting information.
Like the very first meeting. Like,
that's just
fine
a meeting
between
people.
Because Anima is conspiring to make it happen.
That's true
after that.
Yeah. Them just bumping into each other as children is fine because they're around the same age, so, and they live in the same town. I'm fine with that.
Okay. I'm more surprised, but okay.
I don't. None of this. You've done what you always do, which is like misunderstand what my issue was to begin with these things. My issue is never with them conceptually. It's always with implementation. It's like, I think Ishida goes too far and like stretches things, and it feels forced when he does it in certain points, because it feels very different when it's like, to me, this doesn't feel like, I'm not saying he had this planned from day one, but it's not the kind of, it feels like the kind of thing which emotionally felt like it could always have been true, and not like something where it's being like, oh, the whole time the Ron Weasley and Voldemort were cousins because I need that for the story for no reason, or he just will make like pointless connections. That's what annoys me the most. Like here these two connections make sense like thematically and emotionally, but Ishida would just bring back a guy and be like, oh yeah, the guy who's involved with this organization, he's also the guy who was on TV in chapter 2, and it's like, how does that add in any way to the story? That's just like a dumb, pointless detail. Here it's like, no, this kind of like this changes the perspective of like, it explains why Samidare was so into Yuhi to begin with, and how kind of it always seemed like he had a puppy dog weird obsession with her, when it turns out it was her who had almost like tracked him down, and she remembered him just fine, and he was being the guy I didn't remember. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And it makes sense also. It also kind of implies that maybe she might have lived longer just so she would meet him later, which is fun. I might just be reading into that. I'm just saying, like, if it feels like natural and it ties into the themes of the story in a way, I'm fine with like there being some connections. I mean, especially with like this is a very localized, like, small town story. You know, it's not like a sweeping regions of Japan thing. It's just like, oh, it's a hometown thing. She liked him because she bumped into him down the street anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a coincidence if higher forces are actively trying to make it happen. So It doesn't bug me
it's a wish.
at all.
Yeah.
It's like if someone, I don't know what's a non-magical show we don't watch any. If someone in Golden Kamui clapped their hands and like lightning flew out of it and killed the bad guy, that would be very weird. If that happened in Harry Potter, it wouldn't be weird because it's a show about fucking magic.
I don't think you need to explain this far, the concept.
Okay,
I was just explaining why I found it irksome after a bit in Tokyo Ghoul, how like Rize was connected to everything, when to me that didn't feel deliberate, or it didn't feel like it was adding any like layers of like making the thing. Here the connections make
it felt
things
like Ishida was obsessed with Rize and just like couldn't accept
here
that
these
she was
connections draw things tighter and make the story like, you know, make more sense and be more compact. There it felt like he was adding extra like corridors to a maze and making them like connect at points where there was a wall before. And he was being like, okay, now it's more intricate. It's like, well, you've made it like more complicated, but you haven't made it more like tie into itself better, really. You just like put a bunch of knots over each other.
Well, if we're trying to move on a bit, just a few thoughts about this part, because main character goes back to visit his home because his grandpa, who he used the wish on to save, dies in a random incident.
I like that too. That's cool.
A few notes. I put the cousin wants him, dudes. ...
Yes, that's his sister, by the way.
No, it's cousin.
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought it was a sister.
I thought it was a cousin.
I thought it was a sister.
Cousin.
You're right. This is cousin. Sorry.
Oh yeah, but it's it's weird how she's not trying that hard to hide it, and he doesn't seem to notice or care.
She's like, want to go out sober? Why did you stay over? This is your house after all. Pat's bed. Yeah.
He has a epiphany in contrast to Animus, where his big moment is realizing, every human is great. No human is worthless. Like, all people are fucking awesome. Every single one. It's like, okay. I mean, that's a very Mizukami moment. It's a little hard to grok in context, but it's...
he also shouts, he calls him like a lousy old man, and he throws the chain. And it's funny because in the bonus chapter, Ayane, the night guy, the owl guy, whatever, the guy that keeps saying is like the MC. He also like says that to his dad, like, I'm out of here, you lousy old man. So they both are obviously really similar, even though they don't seem to see it.
This story has like the weirdest perspectives on growing up. I noticed that more than usual this time. I get that's like the theme of the show.
That was the coolest
I'm still not
line.
100% sure I understand what he's.
That was the coolest line is when what is it, Nagumo or whatever, the horse guy turns and says, "You're the only child here, Animus."
Yeah,
that was the coolest.
Because he's all because he's so self-absorbed.
Exactly.
And just a jerk.
Well, Animus literally. I noticed the cute touch about how Animus is just a child. He has been wearing his childhood pajamas his entire life. Like for 1,000 years, he still floats around in his childhood pajamas. He just made them bigger with psychic powers. He's also very similar to in ways he reminds me a lot of not just that he looks like, but he's kind of like the villain from Spirit Circle 2. I mean, I've seen people float around like a Mizukami verse. And a lot of his behavior is like that. Like the villain in Spirit Circle is also kind of childish and immature in weird ways.
I think that being true makes it not true in a weird way, because Mizukami has basically confirmed that Spirit Circle and this story happen in the same universe.
Yeah,
but I think that being true also means they're different characters.
But I don't think they're literally the same guy. I'm just saying there's like some weird like. They might be like relatives or some weird thing like that, reincarnation. I don't know. I think they go to, obviously they go to the future in Spirit Circle. I don't know if they say exactly how far, but if it was the 32nd century, I wouldn't be surprised because
it looks a lot like the spaceship section from this.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. Man, I was gonna say
go on. A few other thoughts just to push things ahead a bit. when the main character cries and he looks off to the side and the tears are on his face, he looks exactly like the meme panel of the Horse Knight crying from last section.
He does.
I wondered if that was intentional or if that's just how Mizukami draws crying men.
Maybe.
I don't know. Under that, I put how to boob because he does not know how to draw boobs.
I took a screenshot of that. The one where it's like the one where like she's sitting next to here we go. Samadari and her. It's like the boobs are just kind of like placed with the accuracy of like a medieval monk being just like I reckon this is where they go. I mean, I've never seen a woman, but I imagine they're somewhere around the torso. I don't know.
There are other ones where the boob that is, pointing, I don't know, at a greater angle away from the viewer. In this case, it would be her right boob.
Like stretches
that
out.
Boob is weirdly low and pointy. And then the left boob, he just kind of puts a random arc somewhere on her shirt to imply where the boob is, and it's also wrong.
I mean, it's entirely feasible.
One is like half the size as the other.
Especially
it's
at the point of drawing this manga that he never has seen a naked woman. Like it's actually highly probable. So that would make a lot of sense. Yeah. If he's just like a 24-year-old Japanese man. I'm like,
the weird part is like the gap to where the boob starts, because
he just gives her a lot of like
it's
like collarbone
to figure out.
Yeah, collarbone, and then the boob like starts sagging like right here, but he like puts it. This one's like one of the better ones, but he starts down here sometimes. It's like he has all this imagined space, and look at this one. Damn, she's sagging.
I feel like when people draw boobs wrong, if anything, they usually put them too high.
Yes,
it's weird that the boobs are perky but start in the middle of her body.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. It's weird.
Yeah,
the panty shots also are still not great, but we got a bit better. There was a couple that were like okay.
We all make mistakes.
He's fine.
Man.
He's fine at doing the rest of the stuff. Like looks pretty
also,
good. Yeah.
I think this was
like a square.
I think
hands.
this is when he had the dream sequence fight with the Dog Knight.
Oh yeah.
But I put when you learn linear perspective, he was going very ham with the bricks.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just.
It's
a
fine.
cool, fun moment, and it was kind of hinted at. I will say,
I like that all this dream stuff came back, and
it is a bit silly that he sees his future self when he's running through the Blue Drive monster, because it just confirms that they're all going to be fine.
A little bit.
I know that there's stuff with time is radial and it's like a fluid, and there's no fate really, but it's also like, well, you say that, but
at that point I actually thought it was his father.
I thought so too for a second, because we see his father when he dreams about his grandfather. We see his dad come home, and then he freaks out, and then he wakes up, and his dad looks just like him. So I'm like, when he's older, and they're also he's a detective too. That was a bit silly.
The thing about it's this: time is a flat circle.
Oh,
a flat spirit circle. Damn.
And she has a spirit circle on her head.
Yeah, a child's toy.
Yeah. It's funny to learn that meant literally nothing. It was just a decoration.
It was just it was like a space age silly aesthetic thing. Yeah. I mean,
even to her, it wasn't. It was just I like that.
She kept it for thousands of years.
This is just the classic females trying to stop males from murdering everyone on Earth thing. She never let her brother have fun. What a fucking nag. Yeah, all he wanted to do.
She was going to steal away his psychic powers.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the inane male desire to smash the earth with a big hammer.
Yeah, or, the Samadari desire to also do that for no reason.
Her reason makes sense.
Okay, this was I was going to get into this. This was my weird thing. This annoyed me early on in the manga. Her thing of being I hate the earth, let's smash it. It made total sense for me for Yuhi, because he's a stupid incel. And I was like, okay, he's like a school shooter type. He totally wants to explode the planet just like Owl Guy. I get that. And then along the story, I was like, well, Yuhi's having so much fun. I don't know why he wants to do this anymore. And I was right, because he's the one who turns against her. So I was like, okay, that all makes sense to me. But I was like, why does she want to do it? And then I was like, oh, I see. I had assumed that the disease was gone because she's so powerful now. But then we realize it's just because of the fight thing, and then once she gets out of it, she's back in hospital and she might die. And I was like, interesting. And she used her wish. We never questioned her having a wish because she didn't have an animal.
Yeah. We didn't
so going back is clever because she's like, oh, she does have a wish. What the fuck did she use it for? Oh, she must have cured her disease. But no, she used it to meet with him again. So I was like, okay. So it's like, okay, she's going to destroy the world because she's going to die anyway, probably young, so she wants to take it with her. But I will say that justified it for me and made me enjoy that last fight a lot more. But I will say they kind of ruined it afterwards by... I would have been happier with a magical solution where, like, oh, you won the Biscuit War, you get one wish again, now we use it on her disease, or everyone gets together, one of them sacrifices themselves, or one of them had wished for her to become cured without her knowing or something. But instead it's just like, oh, the disease wasn't lethal anyways.
I mean, I think it's more like that her mother, given that the history book describes her as the medical genius, that she was just so good that she figured out a way to...
that's a bit better. Because if it was just like a disease that could be cured, I was like, that's a bit of an overreaction to be like, I have a disease which might be lethal but might be cured, so I'm gonna smash the earth. I was like, it's a bit drama.
It is fucking crazy that we made it all those wishes and we made it to the end without anyone having a spare wish to cure her bonitis.
That's true. I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say no one got anything out of it because the guy won the lottery.
No. I'm just saying the obvious thing to use a wish on would be to cure Samadari, but it just somehow never comes up.
Everyone keeps wasting. The guy's like, have some bread. Yeah, the guy's like, have some bread. The guy's like, give her one up.
Didn't know that she was
but
sick,
she dies anyway. The other one murdered someone.
Murder a random bum.
Yes. We never got to see. Hey, that was no payoff to the Snake Girl's family dying with smiles on their faces. God damn it, Mizukami, you hack. I thought it was going to be something really clever, like there was an outbreak of laughing gas and they'll fucking die. They get killed, the Joker cuts their cheeks, they smile.
Yeah, well, just a few more things. Anima, at one point, Anima literally has the worst hand I've ever seen in a manga.
I'm happy I was to shit on the artwork, but I will say I would like to hear some actual stuff about what the fuck the contents of the story were, because if you want to nitpick panels, there's so many wonk faces.
I'm going through my notes. We can go through them quickly.
Okay.
I put Spurned Women's Club because at one point everyone is around the table who has had some interest in the main character,
including all the males. They undercut it a bit by having Crow Guy break the fourth one. Like, what do you think you are, the main character? All the girls want to fuck you, and you're super strong now. And he's like,
I like that Horse Knight. He literally sees old fagging the younger characters as his duty because he doesn't have a job. So my job is lecturing them, and they seem to like it. I do like how this story, I've mentioned it, but the age dynamic, where the older characters both see themselves as responsible for the younger characters, but they also don't smother them or disregard them.
Well, there's lots of stuff in this stretch specifically about how like the kids aren't really kids. You know, how they were always meant to protect the planet. Oh, that's the page I'm on. Yeah. Just a coincidence. Yeah, they have to protect their own future and stuff. The adults are also constantly trying to hide the fact that they're just big children the whole time, which is funny.
Everyone is a child.
I mean, sure. It is cool that like the younger characters are kind of precocious and mature, and then the older characters all have this kind of childish, whimsical streak.
And all three kids kind of get a bit more childish as they grow up, which is funny. Like when they're in their 20s, they're just like just like being whatever, bruh, it's all cool.
When they all just have random service jobs or are detectives.
Yes, that's the two jobs you could have: ramen or detective.
I mean, that's what AI is going to do to us. You either deliver Uber Eats or you fight crime. There's nothing in between. Also, that's kind of the case in Soylent Green too. That's weird.
That was funny. That little joke at the end about hanging someone from a bridge with their pants down. I misread that, and I thought he had hung someone by the neck while he himself had no pants on. I was like, that sounds really violent, hanging someone from a bridge with no pants on. Jesus. Like, what the hell? Was he on some kind of, like, pun rampage? And he caught a criminal and he was like, vigilante justice, and hung him from the fucking neck for being a stalker.
I won't harp on it too much. Just a few more
that's a
art
terrible
things.
Unicorn.
The rival guy, he just randomly turns 25 at one point because his face looks so much more mature.
Wait, who?
The Crow Knight. There's a random panel where he looks 25.
That's true.
And when they do the world loved her back and there's the group shot, I was staring at it for the longest time going, who the fuck is this big chunky guy in the middle right? And it took me so long to go, wait, is that her fucking dad? Like he looks like it's like Hulk Hogan is just there. And like I was confused.
Funny note I had, and I'm glad I stopped on the page. When everyone is shouting "wish granting light" together, the crow has its mouth shut. It's the only one who doesn't participate. And then we find out she's a girl. Take that, patriarchy. Yeah.
Yeah. I put Steven Universe quote, "It's okay, she said she's sorry."
That's true. I will say I'm happy they didn't pull any bullshit with Animus. Like, I'm really glad we didn't get a scene where Anima goes, I can't kill him, he's my brother, and we have to find another solution. And they just stab him with a spear, and they're like, you're fucking dying, Animus, and you have to die because you keep exploding the earth for 1,000 years.
One pro on the art, when Animus just becomes a freaky shadow image with the hammer, that looks better. That
turns into the Six Tails. That's one of my favorite arts.
That's a nice touch.
That's one of my favorite manga tropes, is when someone becomes just like shadowy figure with glowing white eyes. Every manga is actually better for the addition of it. Oh my god, the boobs. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I don't believe in you.
Yeah, Jesus. You can there's like cleavage on the 45-degree
watermelon or
plane.
melon.
Oh my god. Like
she's hiding a couple extra planets in there.
There's like a 3-inch stretch from the top of her boob to her armpit. And there's like a cleft on either side of it. It's like when you take steroids and don't work out.
Yeah, she's got mad pecs.
She looks like Elon Musk.
She kind of does. She has a weird See, also just has like a kind of a weird log body. Like here, this. It's a woman. She should have like more of a curvier shape here. Instead, she has like a very chunky rectangle body.
Speaking of fan service. Remember when, we're at the part where they're now fighting Yuhi instead of Animus. He grabs Snake Girl's skirt and ties it over her head.
He did the Berserk pumpkin. The Berserk thing Isidro does.
Even the other characters, even the Lizard Knight goes like, dude, that was just mean. Like, you didn't need to do that.
Anima goes. Anima goes. She's like,
like. How fucked up is it
to
really reject a girl who likes you and then show her panties to all your friends?
Yeah, I know. I don't know why he did that.
Oh my god.
He was just playing. He was just playing the heel in the hardest way he could.
It is also funny that every single time Samadari does anything of consequence, her panties are showing.
Well, yeah, that's just like become such a running joke. I don't even mind. They were a bit better. Oh my god, his chin is out of control again. It's kind of funny. I do like the shitty crater that Blues Drive Monster does on the hammer is this size. It's like they pecked the tiny little fraction out of the top, and she really fucked up. But
also Samadari's planet destroying form where everything flows around her, which you're about to get to, I think.
Yeah,
that is cool. It's not a masterful artwork, but it is neat. I like that he's doing it.
I really like
some of these were also time constraint things. Like I think he was really at the end of this, he's like, man, I've been doing this for a long time. Jesus.
He is very lucky that in the final fight, there's so many stark whites and blacks.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh man,
a lot of crowd shots of I just have to draw like 9 small figures in a white background.
That's Jaws when you mildly criticize Tokyo Ghoul.
Yes. Mildly, huh? Is that what you call it?
What? No. What?
How mild? Yeah.
What are you saying?
All Green said was, "Listen, it's not my cup of tea." He didn't attack the author or anything. No.
Yeah, I didn't. I would never make.
He didn't make death threats on Ishida and question everything he's ever done. Yeah. That's just a mild criticism you might expect on a school report or something. Yeah. Simple enough.
You're gonna get they're having the crackdown. You're gonna get me banned in Britain.
I enjoyed how Horse Guy got to get one ride at the end.
Yes.
Yes.
Because he keeps pushing for it.
Time.
Yeah, it's like, this is the one time, dude. Oh, also the prediction thing was funny. I enjoyed that. That was very like almost Rick and Morty. The idea of like kind of your how to say this, your subjective interpretation of what a prophecy is, changing kind of fate. Fate being like
it work.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, it's kind of like, it's not exactly like seeing the prophecy makes it happen. It's just that seeing the prophecy makes it happen how you think it's going to happen, essentially. So if you change, if you can like convince yourself and kind of make it happen a way convincing to yourself, then you can make it not happen. And he buries himself.
Like in Steins Gate, it's exactly that. What saves the day.
Yeah. So he buries himself in the ground, and then there's a humorous scene where people point out he could just use a mannequin, but he's like, no, this is more real.
Yeah, his freaky Shotokan police partner draws an image of him his head buried in dirt. Yeah. And she has psychic powers.
And then he gets dropped from the sky by Animus, and he has to drive himself. Then he's like, damn it, I wasted 5,000 yen.
Yeah, like I buried myself in dirt for no reason. It didn't do anything.
Thank God it was a lethal hit anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, it's I guess moving into the epilogue more a little bit. I completely forgot that the snake and the cat guy get married, and good for them because they deserve better.
I'm gonna say that did annoy me actually.
Oh my God! Why do you think fat people don't deserve love?
No, not at all. I would be fine with them having spouses that just weren't each other. I just don't. I just think it was one too many. That's all. Like
one fucking who all got together out of the cast?
They all did. Fucking Owl Guy. Didn't. Green. Listen for a second. Owl Guy got with a Turtle Girl. That's one pair. Okay.
Yeah.
Crow Guy got hinted at with Rooster Girl. Yeah.
That's very loose.
No. They totally say it pretty much. The fucking main guy is with Samidare.
That's cheating. Those are the main characters.
That's still part of the thing. I'm just saying, like it's like, and they implied fucking sister would have gotten with dog guy if he hadn't died. So it's like it's almost like almost all the male female pairs got. I'm surprised Horse Guy didn't fuck Mantis Girl by the end. That was the one they left untapped. That was the one pair left.
Well, and to be fair, Mantis Girl did have a pair that died.
Well, so yeah, exactly. So and a Horse Guy could have gotten with Prediction Lady. It's like I just don't need I don't need literally
completely wrong.
Everyone to pair off. It's like I don't really see them as like a very good couple, to be honest. He's a bit of a sociopath. I don't know
she
settled for fatter Yuhi.
Yeah, I mean the fat.
She should have been trying to groom Owl Kid.
They're the most explicit couple, and they're the
even
one
Anima
that
goes, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with them as a couple. The other couples are there, but the one that we see most directly is the one that is most believable, I guess.
It just felt a bit too like trying to. It just felt too fan servicey, like being like, and then at the end, everyone got married to each other, and they all had 15 kids, and were happy forever. No one ever got divorced. No one ever drifted away from the group. No one ever. I get with like them meeting. Like for summer vacation and stuff, yeah, but they're essentially to just become like one huge family, and I'm like, oh, okay, not everyone has to get. I do find it funny that the Japanese feel the need to constantly end their stories with everyone getting married and having children when their birth rates are so low. It's like they're trying to fucking force it into existence by their manga. It's like, please, the end goal of manga of life is for everyone to get married and have kids.
Very true.
It's like you don't have to have every single character. Naki doesn't have to get married to Three Blades fucking for me to care. It's like, okay, some people get married, some people don't, some people have been married and now are single. Like, we just cut forward to the point where everyone is together with their life partners and everyone is happy. It's like, okay, I would have wanted one of them to kill themselves. They cut to the what happened what happened to Horse Guy and he just died. Yeah, like Grandpa got hit by the car. I don't know. It's just like it just felt slightly too saccharine for me, for everyone to have such a picture perfect little happy ending is all.
I understand that. Yeah. I mean, one of them did die horribly. That's something.
Like Full Metal Alchemist has like a happy ending too, where it's like at the end shows a photograph of Winry and Edward, and they had a baby, and Alphonse and May are together. But it's like it doesn't show Mustang playing with his baby he had with Riza Hawkeye. It just gives us like a vague. It just shows him with like a mustache being the Fuhrer, and she's like his right hand man. It doesn't show us. You know, it doesn't have to go through everyone. Oh, Ling Yao had 15 children. And we know he married one-armed girl probably, but it's like, it's just like you just got a photo being like, oh, he's the emperor. Yeah. You don't have to be like, oh, everyone is very happy and smiley and they all live together and they go camping. It's like, okay. It's 10 years, dude. Yeah. What else happened? The only child here is you. I like his face when he says that. Animus is like, huh? But I'm 1,007 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I have been a little fixated on, the mangas talking about childhood and adulthood and stuff. As you might know, I recently have had a conflict in my life of people accusing me of refusing to grow up, and it's like, manga, tell me if these people have a point or not. Should I shun them?
I mean, it's a bit rich of a 23-year-old to try and convince me he knows all about being an adult. I mean, he's barely an adult, so.
I mean, if you write
take
a manga,
it with a grain of salt. You're an adult? Okay, good to know.
That's what it means to grow up.
So Eiichiro Oda, who's like 17, writing One Piece, he was an adult. Tite Kubo. Yeah. Okay.
No, it's only when you finish the manga.
Oh, okay, I see. So he's still a child. Eiichiro Oda hasn't finished a single manga. Think about that. And he's been working for 30 years.
What a fucking buffoon.
They should have called this chapter, the part where he kills us. They should have called this chapter I'm serious. I'm serious. She's serious. They're serious. The part where she gets serious.
I kind of think Dog Guy says it. Maybe growing up is just like accepting that part of you is always a child, but just not being a dick about
That's gotta be part of it. I enjoyed also how in this spread here, the snake girl is the only one who isn't shocked. Neat touch, because she knew.
She all along. I haven't mentioned this, but I really like the sort of reveal about Samidara that she sort of. Like that she didn't use her wish to cure her illness because she thinks she deserves it.
Yeah, that was interesting. She was like, I'm a bad person. That's why I'm sick.
Yeah. It's like a nice psychological thingy that she just thinks that she deserves to be sick, but that also is the cause of everything going bad. It's like this weird circular thingy.
It's also interesting because to me, I felt it also was kind of paralleled in Animus, because Animus doesn't want to hide or lose his psychic powers because he's like, that's what kind of defines me and makes me special. I think she kind of also feels that a bit too. Where like almost her defining trait for most of her life has been that she is sick. Yes. So I thought that was neat. Yeah. What else happened? I mean, Yuhi and the crow guy fought. That was a bit silly.
All right, yeah, they fought.
God
I know the
damn.
joke is it goes for too long and that everyone is like bored watching, but it did go on for too long.
Yeah. Oh, what about the part where Yuhi steals the empowered reptile form from the snake?
Yeah. What a
What
fucking, he just can't stop dunking on this poor woman, and then he makes her marry a fat guy who's older than her.
Bullies her, rejects her, betrays her,
makes fun of her
by
cosplay, sees her naked,
shows her panties to everyone.
Yeah. And steals her dragon form. You're not a mythical knight anymore. Oh, also, Crow Guy did it too. Because in the final fight, the crow turns into. I mean, to be fair, she took the powers away from everyone, and she turns the crow into the mythical form. Yeah. It was just like one panel. I'll try and skip forward to it.
I did feel sad watching her collect all the animals to.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's funny,
that was bullshit.
too.
People who
uses
wished for psychic powers, they can't have them anymore. Like poor guy. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have wished for magic golem abilities. I would have wished for eternal happiness.
Or I would have wished for being thin, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
It was funny that when he did the panty thing, she uses her ultimate attack out of anger, and then she has like sex face afterwards because she's so upset.
And they put in the detail that Horse Guy used the last of his defensive stamina to block her attack, so he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
I gotta find the crow. I gotta find the crow.
I mean, the saccharine scenes of everyone loving Samadari and bringing her back to Earth, like that was cute. That was cute enough.
Yeah,
and that's kind of like what they do. They do stuff like that in Spirit Circle too. Now I think about it, like yeah,
it was a cute touch that the animals came from shapes she saw on the moon. That was clever.
Yeah, and when he got on the giant robot that Anima made.
Yeah.
There was a point where I wrote, "This
BDR.
is just Planet With now."
My BDM, sorry. Yeah, it was like Planet With. You're right.
Yeah, and it's sad. It made me sad when all the fucking Steven Universe panel. It made me sad when all the animals were getting together, ready to teleport away.
I enjoyed that little line, where.
Oh yeah,
where she says, "Don't worry, we won't reincarnate as your children or anything." He's like, "Why not? Fuck it." She's like, "Maybe." I was like, "Yeah, why not?" Yeah. Exactly. Like, who gives a shit? We're already weird, like interconnected psychics anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah, you just see this. You just keep seeing the seeds of Spirit Circle.
Yeah, that's what I felt. I was like, man, this is really good. But I really want to read Spirit Circle again because also To Your Eternity is so similar to it, and they're both obviously inspired by Phoenix.
Okay, then we will have the three.
Yeah, maybe we will.
Similar things all at once.
Maybe we will.
So Eternity, Spirit Circle, and Land of the Lustrous.
We can do Phoenix by Osamu Tezuka too, and really round out the weird Phoenix by Osamu Tezuka, because they're all about like going to through different time periods and like connections with people and reincarnation and stuff.
Jaws thought it was Phoenix, the city in the American Southwest.
Yes, where you just
which makes you wish you could reincarnate. Yeah.
It's funny, Green. Do you think her boobs are so fucked up because that was her wish? Like she was like, "What do you wish for?" Big boobs, but they fucked up. They're like artificial boobs.
Sort of.
She's well endowed.
She's
yeah.
I mean, she's the wish giver, not the wish.
She's
receiver.
like, I am not a crook.
Yeah, well, maybe she was a. Yeah, it does look like a child's concept of what big boobs are.
Maybe they're fake. Maybe she just like padded her bra.
Yeah, with really heavy pads that sack down to the middle of her chest. Yeah, he's just old. Just imagine being
gotta
old.
Say, Crow Guy's really not
right
rocking
here.
the ponytail. Looks so good.
Your complaint that he doesn't look anything like his older brother. They try to resolve that by giving him a ponytail.
Yeah, and he's got he got a long square face too, instead of like the more triangular one he had before.
Yeah, because when those years between what 15 and 25, your face changes so much.
He got in so many fights. He got kicked in the face so much it rearranged his bone structure.
It's the reverse of the Sasuke punch.
Green
where
be
he gets
like, nah,
flat
they're not going out. Nah, this is the fucking. I don't know what tone is. Yeah,
he needs to go down for grooming.
It'd be funny if it'd be funny if Hanako banned Samidare from her restaurant and Cat Guy for eating the ramen too fast.
Yeah. Sad that her life is just being a
sad.
She's a mouse.
Yeah, she's like an eternal widow. That didn't even
at 28.
Yeah, exactly. Never
over.
even held hands with a boy. Oof.
Yeah.
I don't. Did they hint about Hawaiian shirts earlier?
No, it's like when Akane is like unconscious on the ground, he mumbles like "Aloha."
Oh yeah, that's right. Holy fuck, that's right. They're like, what is he dreaming about?
He has like a head injury that makes him start wearing Hawaiian shirts.
He loves Hawaii because he got hit so hard in the head. Well, he used his time powers so hard. It is cool.
It's like Halloween.
That was awesome. Using his wish to keep his powers was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Like the owl is like, hell yeah.
Yeah, he got a redemption. You know,
never trust owl knights because they always betray you in the end, no matter what side you are.
And then and then his redemption was telling his father he hates him and going away.
Yeah.
Which is like the opposite of everyone else's.
His father was shitty, so I'm happy he doesn't just get off the hook and be like, oh, I now realize that you were only ignoring me for my own good.
Yeah.
At least he's got a pretty nice ass. So
I guess the implication there is like at least Yuhi's grandfather cared. It was just in a really shitty way.
Yeah, he was
like,
really bad.
He
cared too much about his dad and him.
Yeah.
She got to get her sleeves under control.
It's crazy how the entire first quarter of the manga has nothing to do with any of this.
She hit in the. I noticed Samidari hits the Muramasa pose. She's very sticking her hip out and being like, "Yo,
and
3/4."
Her boobs are large, but at least they're somewhat well placed.
Yeah, her sisters are pretty
covering
nice
them helps.
too.
I do love her repeating Thane in the final image. You know, where she says "invincible" and does the
that's cute. That's cute.
The V.
It has been slightly ruined to me though because I keep expecting it to cut the credits like the Invincible TV show. But I'm in.
Also, she made plushies of all the.
Oh yeah, that was cute, and she made herself an anima.
And I don't remember if
I will
you
say
remember,
she doesn't
but
look
I
as cute when she's older. I think he's disappointed.
Yeah. Oh. In my notes, I do have prediction. Michi will scream they ruined her. In the final.
But they fixed anima for a few chapters there. Also, I totally thought this girl was blonde, but she has gray hair, and she has gray hair. They got really old.
Don't remember. don't remember if you remember, but I used to use her invincible panels as like reaction images. They're very cool. I'd be like, yeah, that's me. I'm invincible.
You're so cool
and she's
original.
doing it behind her back. God damn. He doesn't know she's invincible.
Wait, she is doing it behind her back. I didn't notice that.
Yes.
Fucking
goddamn.
Fucking cheat.
Yeah. Fucking 10 out of 10. Perfect manga.
No.
9 out of 10. Almost perfect.
8 out of 10. Almost a 9.
I'm strong 7.
I'll give it
at
a
least.
strong 8. I'll give it a strong 8.
Parts of the good stretch is an 8. The worst is maybe a 6.5.
No, the
probably
good stretch,
a strong 7.
The
overall.
middle stretch was like a 9. Like those middle 30 chapters, where they're all like learning about each other and having all these fun backstories were real fucking good. I love all this.
God damn.
Okay. Well, shit. I guess we did it.
We won. We did this.
So what are we doing next week? I guess Green doesn't know.
Well, I'm getting bullied and shanghaied in the Spirit Circle.
If you don't want to do Spirit Circle, you can do one of those other mangas you don't know.
It's fine.
You don't know any other manga.
Yeah. I got it. I don't
Kurosawa
know.
again.
Midori Days.
Here's the thing: Midori Days and also Sumire 16. are good manga, but one, they tend to be very episodic, and two, I'd have to listen to Michi complain and
say that
constantly.
Midori. I don't know, man. Maybe Midori Days looks better than this. You were the one slagging off the artwork in this one. You're just mad because I have opened your eyes, bro.
Wait, in this one?
Yeah, you're this whole podcast. You were like the hand, the boob, the.
I was bringing up funny bad examples.
Well,
I don't dislike the art
Midori
overall.
Days. Yeah. Me neither.
Oh my god.
But I'll do that. Yeah. Okay.
Midori is adorable. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Both of those are like favorite mangas of yours because you hadn't read that much manga. That's just the truth.
No.
Your first 10 manga. My first 10 manga I read when I was 28.
Is the most perfect like concept for a rom-com.
Yeah.
In men who
never read a single manga growing up goes, wow, a hand.
Yeah, name one other manga where his hand is a girl.
I mean,
you can't do it.
You'll be surprised, but keep reading to your eternity.
God damn it! and also Sumiri 16 is just like really funny and clever. I might make you read it out of fucking pure hatred.
I mean, I might not find it that funny though. That's the problem. If I just am like, I don't really think it's funny, then we're just going to be sitting here.
Dude, even if it's not like laugh out loud funny, just the situations he comes up with are really interesting. That's fine.
I'll do Spirit Circle in like 15 weeks when we finish.
You know what? I suspect we will do Spirit Circle. I might toss a short one in before. We'll see.
Why not?
Well, I might be out of steam on this.
Well, I don't think we have much more to say. Yeah. Good manga.
Yeah, it's okay. Yep. I think we're
okay.
I think we're
see you next time
we're good.
For
good
new
for
manga.
good for Mizukami. Yep.